What's up, guys, and welcome back to the TG Faction War. We're on round 20. We're going to be officially halfway through this shit afterwards. Actually, while you're gone, I can probably get through pretty much all of this. Do you want?
Okay, cool.
Do you want to like watch it on your iPad or something?
Nah, I'll listen. I'll listen for a little, and then I'll just watch it.
Anyway, we're gonna get started with pretty much a nice 1v1 between the Ancient Faction and the Pirates, both from the base game. So the Bliss is down, but that's kind of my fault. Kind of let that happen. Minotaur down, Zeus is down. Not looking good here, as all the units remaining on the Ancient Vet side could just be killed by the Queen. Poor Sarissa. Next up, we have the Dynasty versus the Holidays. And unfortunately, for the Holidays, China doesn't celebrate Christmas.
Grr, we hate Christmas. Grr.
I wanted that joke to be better timed, but it still works. Dynasty faction wins. Next up, Spooky versus Renaissance. Swordcaster dead. Oh, well, that's something. I don't know how he ended up all the way over there. Okay, well, it's just everyone against the Da Vinci tank. The tank does not look like it's doing well, however. The tank was indeed not doing well. Next up is going to be Animals versus the Light. Up, the Nekos have already gone in. The cat people have already gone in and murdered the Divine Arbiters, so that's not very good. Chronomancer transformed. Chronomancer dead, and the Elephant is dead. Animals get another dub. Next up, Historical versus Evil. You know what? No, we'll do another Void Cultist. Begin. Okay, so the Shadow Walker and Tempest Lich didn't ruin things immediately. What just happened? What just happened? How did the Void Monarch die in one hit? I'm very confused. Did he just get kicked into oblivion? Huh. He did indeed get kicked into oblivion. Let's put the Tempest Lich back a bit. Oh no, it's still just useless because the Aztecs know how to charge into units. Alright, Void Monarch. Bring it back this time. Nope. Historical faction gets a dub. Next up, Wild West versus Ultra Cavern. Begin. So, Isaac, do you have it, like, tabbed out or anything?
Nope, because I am playing versus bosses. I told you this.
Deadeye, you missed your shot. Not much of a quick draw, are you? I can't do a French accent. I can do other things, though. Yeah, no. Okay, Ultra Cabin gets another dub. Next up, Evertail versus Pop Culture. Now, Evertail's very expensive. Anyway, begin. We obvious, they are our most expensive faction in the tournament. And again, like with DD, see if Evertail can win with just these members of their team. We won't have a second round. So when are you leaving?
Late? Like 11 or something? Probably 12.
Okay. I mean, it's looking meh for pop culture. Palpatine's down. And Vader's the one that's truly left. Vader's still up and running, so... Okay, 1 down, 4 to go. Is the whip a ranged weapon or a melee weapon? I mean, it is a melee weapon, but that would be cool to see it be counted as a ranged weapon, because then you could have a shuriken, a sensei shuriken throw, be the whip. Oh man. Alright, well, shit. Evertail gets another dub. Next up is Gaming Server versus Doki Doki Phantom City. Isaac, who do you want to win?
Gaming Server versus Doki Doki Phantom City. There's always tolerable people in Phantom City.
I mean, there's people in both. And personally, I like Gaming Server more, as it's like heavily populated by just the OCs of one neutral person I'm neutral with. Whereas Doki Doki Phantom City, you got Teddy, you got Yato, you got one of Jesus.
Teddy doesn't even exist anymore. I don't know what you're talking about.
One of Ken's OCs, which is fine. You got 2 of Willow's OCs, one of Neko Frisk's. It does look like Gaming Server's going to win, though. Who's left? Corbin, cool. Spella Rose died. It's gonna be close now, because thanks to that. Oh, maybe not, because he just activated the enrage of the assassin. Which, I mean, did like a lot of his health. And Corbin's dead. Doki Gaming Server gets another dub. Next up, Other Games versus the Legacy. Now then, it doesn't look too good for Other Games right now, as they're missing a few very strong members. And by very strong, I mean just one. And by very strong, I mean Fish. Anyway, but still, all we have left is the tank and the Super Boxer already. The Super Boxer is just taking it to everyone he sees. So we saw Ildu go down, Master Ruby almost died. Thankfully Goddess came in and saved him. Asha took down the tank. Now this may seem dumb, and that's because it is, but let's just see what happens when we add in more. We now have 3 tanks and a second wizard in the game. Match. Asha again. 1 tank's already dead. I don't know what happened to that one. 2 tanks are down. The second one got punched by Fish. Minecraft Steve is dead. The peasant just got nuked. The third tank is down. And the super boxer is down. So yeah, other games definitely win. Next up is a Secret Faction versus Undertale crossover. Now, Secret Faction's missing like half of their team, price-wise. Which actually just means we get a second Undertale crossover should the Secret Faction win. So anyway, let's see what happens. And I'm already dead because honestly, I probably shot the ground. Killed something right up close to me. Steven got enraged, he's low on health. Isaac has been converted into a skeleton for the other team. Oh, nope, actually, there I go. I'm dead now. But other than that, Samurai Giant down. Or the Samurai Giant just gets revived as a skeleton giant. Okay, and then he explodes.
My charger?
He explodes. Cool.
I forgot.
This actual skeleton giant down. And then the rest of the Secret Faction have chance, as it's only the Necromancer. And, well, they converted Sage. They managed to grab another unit to their side. Now we add in the rest. Uller, Red Jade, Sensei. The Shogun might do something. He probably will. He'll probably get something off. Tree Giant, Artemis, and the Ice Giant. So I think Artemis is gonna be the biggest issue here. Probably pretty easily. Alright, so what's happening? It is very much so not good. Whatever is happening, it is not good. Steven's enraged. Gotta kill some giants here. Or just get knocked back by Artemis. That's fine too. Oh, they summoned the king. That's pretty good. Danielle going after Uller, getting right in back. Other than that, who do we have? We got Rink still up, Steven's up, but he's not going to be up for much longer. Steven's now the only one left, hiding under the corpse of the tree giants. He managed to hide out in time to get an Enrage up and running. And it's no longer up and running, and he's dead. So now let's make this an even fight, guys. Even fight now. 57,570 versus 5750. 500. Let's go. Alright, well, I'm dead. The first Skelly's already dead. What is the giant shadow on my screen? Is that's just me. Okay. Somehow. I don't call it. Okay, the shadow's gone. Oh, that is a nice Omayo emotion, dude. Taking out the Ice Giant, dealing massive damage to both the Tree Giant and Samurai Giant. Lady Red Jade, Blackbeard 2, Tree Giant down. Now we just gotta get up to Artemis. We've gotten up to Artemis. We have won. Next up, TKR versus RLS right now. And begin. There are just so many units on TKR that I'm not going to be able to name them all.
You're away, Paul.
I see.
Bro, I don't remember anything I barely remember anything that happened yesterday because I was so tired. Because, you know, we couldn't sleep.
Oh, Blade enraged. What's happening over here? Demon Horror and Naomi going ham. Blade just went over and killed Pechi, so I think we have Ian, Titus, Shaw's there. Don't know who else is in the Aegis Shield over there. Oh, Blade's now in close and personal. Unfortunately, the Aegis Shield does not block fire. But Enrage does. Who would have guessed? Just getting angry makes you fireproof. Maybe Anakin should have tried that. Maybe he wasn't angry enough. What if Anakin got so angry he became fireproof?
What if he became so angry that he became fire? That's a good question. I don't know the answer.
he became fire. I said fireproof, but becoming fire works as well.
Yeah, literally becoming fire, you know? What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? Throw you in lava? You're already fire.
And yeah, we're on Mustafar. Good luck finding water here, boy.
Good luck finding water here. Unless you got a dispenser for it, you ain't finding any of
Poop
that.
dispenser.
Put this dispenser here. Put this dispenser
That
here.
there's a poop dispenser. Anyway, round 2. TKR
That there's a poop dispenser. Don't worry, I believe that you can do these rounds.
I do too. I know I can. It's just
I'm
really
joking.
boring.
I don't believe in you. I'm joking. I do
well,
believe in
thank you, my friend.
you. I don't believe in you. You can do nothing.
Aww.
I am the spy.
I tricked Scout by replacing his bonk with piss. Holy dooly.
Imagine the epic scout infused Jarate in himself instead of freaking Bonk.
I mean, that would be really bad because if he gets hit with anything, he gets mini crit. He jumps mini crit air. Mini crit damage from the air. So whoever that was, they're dead. Squall. I know Squall's that one. Ezekiel went tornado mode. Got more rockets. It's just Blade left versus everything.
Is he gonna die?
I mean, Blade is strong, but... And there were 2 of them up. Ezekiel's down. There's one up. His enrage ran out. It was close. Real close. Next up, Neo Nutco versus MHA. Begin. So this all comes down to whether or not Nutco can actually deal with All For One. Because if they can, the faster they deal with All For One, which Zarin is actually doing really well right now, and also just the less units they have trying to deal with All For One, the better Nutco is going to do. This is so dumb. Legacy Impale, that is clearly a bug. So anyway, Elise is just going to die back there, and there is really nothing they can do about it. We still got Lust left. Lust still up and running. That's the only one. Oh, is that gonna finish her? Nope, just barely. Oh, I see. Let's add in the 2 queens, and nothing's gonna change because... Oh, well, actually everything's going to change because All For One did not teleport anywhere at all. Did he leave? Did he just teleport off the map? Well, that's gonna change everything.
Who teleported off the map?
All For One.
Yeah, didn't you know that was one of his abilities? Go away.
Leave. He went to get the milk.
I thought that was Deku's dad's ability.
Hot jokes on you. All For One is Deku's dad.
Did you know? But did you know that they're actually going to draw Deku's dad? Like they're actually going to bring him in for one of the manga chapters.
That's nice.
Yes. So unlike every other anime dude, he actually has a father.
I mean, who knows? I mean, he could have just had All For One be his dad. I mean, one of the creators does really like Star Wars. And I mean, it's pretty clear to see. I mean,
his father has fire spit.
Have you? I mean, like, have you seen what All For One looks like?
Yeah, but he doesn't. He's never used Fire Spit.
Okay, and
That's what.
I mean
What?
your quirks aren't always passed down through genetics.
Yes, they are.
And we see why is Shiggy's mom so different from him? I mean, I know it would be probably the dad that would have done it too, but like. What even is Shiraki's mom's ability? Oh, jeez. 2 all-for-ones is just too much. Too much to handle. When he touches them.
I don't think they've ever like said what his mom's quirk is.
I mean, his like a pro hero who had one for all or whatever All Might's quirk is. I don't know. She was the one who had that, and that clearly wasn't passed down through genetics.
Because All for One isn't a genetic thing. It's been stated that.
Exactly. So would it really be so super far-fetched to have All for One as Deku's dad?
Yes.
But why?
Because there has no evidence of him being the dad. There was no he has to have the quirk Fire Spit to be his dad first off. So and we've never seen him use it, and we've never seen anything suggested that he uses it.
The thing is with Vader's one, also next up we have Ultimates versus Undertale AUs. Vader is so important to the Star Wars just series as a whole. The lengths they go
because he's also Anakin.
The things they do when using Vader in anything are so much grander than anything else. Like, I brought this story up, but in Rogue One, like, the cast has talked about, like, how different it is when Vader comes on scene. Like, when it's just them, they're all chilling, goofing around, having a fun time. But as soon as Vader walks up on stage, it's serious time now. It's silent, it's serious, it's all business, no fun times.
No funny moments? No cringe compilations?
And the Rogue One, like the ending scene with Vader in the hallway, you remember that scene?
Yes.
That was kept a secret from the Rogue One cast. In fact, the only people who knew about it were, of course, the director. Like, before it was put in, like, the director, the person who actually choreographed the scene, Darth Vader's actor. There were only, like, half a dozen people on the entire crew that knew that that scene was available, that scene was gonna happen. Likewise, with Darth Vader being Luke's father in Episode 5, only George Lucas, Mark Hamill, and Darth Vader's actors knew that this was going to happen. That was it. No one else. 4 people knew that Vader was Luke's dad before it hit theaters. That is just insane. The stuff they do for Vader, man. Miscellaneous 2 versus Undertale. This is going to be horrible for Undertale. Unfortunately. Oh, you got you summoned an apple thrower. Nice. How good. How amazing. I mean, still, Undyne is going to take a while to kill. Don't get me wrong, but when they have all of these units to do Hurricane Slash, Undyne's 24,000 HP pool kinda turns into 6. Who else is left? Asgore's the only one left. And then we have like all all of the hybrids still left. So yeah, Miscellaneous 2 gets another dub. Well, know another crazy thing Vader did? I think I've told this story before. Anyway, Miscellaneous versus Saving Our Country. There was a comic that depicted Vader in his early days. Like back when he was still vulnerable. Anyway, so there's this guy who had a remote to control Vader's suit. And so he turned it off. But then Vader, through sheer willpower and the Force, just said, "Lol, I don't need that machine to live. I'll still kill you without it."
Oh no, my breathing machine. Anyways,
Oh no! He literally said that it was literally that. Because he just all of a sudden just got back up, and then the guy was like, "Oh, what? Impossible!" And then Vader was like, "Nothing is impossible for the Force." Fun fact, there was a girl, a nurse in Star Wars canon that, oh, Satan just got obliterated, that was obsessed with Vader. Anyway, our last match is Deltarune versus FNF. So anyway, the comic ends, she goes to Vader's private meditation chambers, sees him without his mask, and she's like, "Wow, you're beautiful," and then like talking about all this stuff, and Vader's just sitting there staring at her with just this completely blank expression on his
and then
face.
he says, "Kill yourself."
He would never say that to. Oh, he would never say that. Because he would rather just plunge his lightsaber into the girl's chest. Still with the same.
Spying on me on my little me time, huh?
And like throughout the entire thing, he never like had any emotion on his face. It was just neutral. It was just so funny. He's just there staring at her as she's like pouring out her life story to him. And then he stabs her.
And Ratio L didn't ask.
And then he leaves and tells someone come get some. I have some trash in my room. Can you guys clean it up for me? Like, she was something. Anyway, FNF wins, and it's time for our halfway standings. It's around 20, and now we get to go over our standings, and no longer will I be procrastinating and explaining why for the bottom parts.
You're just gay.
Why I have a girl. Anyway.
You do? Oh yeah, you still do. I didn't know that.
Viking, medieval, tribal, and farmer are still.
Oh, that was Steven who doesn't have a girlfriend anymore.
Yeah, these four are still all defeated. Then we have.
I know the reason why they aren't boyfriend girlfriend anymore is because it was long distance, but it might have been because he's a little dumb.
Yeah. Anyway, Wild West and Spooky Faction are at 1 win, and I was expecting better from both of these factions. Fortunately. Then at 2 wins we have both the Holidays and Historical. I didn't expect much more than that, really. At 3 wins we have the Pirate Faction, and at 4 wins we have the Renaissance. At 5 wins we have both Ancient and Secret, and I was expecting much better from the Secret Faction. They have a lot of very powerful units. At 6 wins, the Legacy. This is a surprising one because they have a frickin' tank. That's really it. Thor, Gandalf, and Superboxer as well. Then also at 6, I think, right? No, actually, at 7 wins we have the Dynasty faction. And then we have a huge 3-way tie for 8 with 8 wins. We have the Light faction, Gaming server, and other games. And then at 10 wins we have Undertale and Dark. Next up, the 2 factions with 11 wins are Ultra Cabin and Deltarune. Then we have 2 factions at 12 wins, being Anime and Souls. Then with 13 wins, we have 3 factions. The AUs, Doki Doki Phantom City, and Evertale. And then the only faction at 14 wins is Saving Our Country. I don't really have much to say about most of these. Next up, with 15 wins, we have a lot of factions. A lot. Starting off with Pop Culture in 13th place. The Force is the Force, aka the Banshee Scream, is actually a pretty good ability, not gonna lie. Next up is FNF. They have a lot of units, and some of them are very good. Both Sarbents have Divine Arbiter Orbs. Tricky is a really well-created unit I've done. Bombs from Woody Garcello with
You're just trying to flatter yourself a little too hard.
And then next up is Elements at number 11. Now the Elements just have a bunch of good abilities all around. And then in number 10, Neo Undertale Crossover. A lot of abilities, a lot of health in there, a lot of love arrows, which is a really big thing. They don't do much damage, but incapacitating the enemy is always good. We have two factions at 16. Actually, no, wait, one last faction. The Keeper's Rise, also with 15 wins. Just a huge array of abilities and units in this huge faction. In 8th place, with 16 wins, is Undertale Crossover. One of the original factions of the failed faction the faction league. Got a lot of good units from the 1v1 league that stayed pretty good for a faction v faction league. Most notably units like Danielle and Steven, who are good in the 1v1 league, are still good in the faction v faction league. And then finally, also at 16 wins, is the Animals faction. They have one job, protect Bird God, and they do it pretty well. Commander Cluck is no pushover either. And finally, we get to our top 6 factions, which I'm going to go into some pretty good detail about why they're here, or why I believe they're here. Starting off in 6th place is the Ultimate faction. If you need any reason as to why they're here, have you heard their name? B, every unit in the faction has a metric buttload of abilities, the maximum that I could give them for pretty much all of them. On top of that, they have most of them have a lot of health and amazing weaponry all around. Good Ultimate back there with the Divine Arbiter Orb, it's really strong. Viking Ultimate was one of the first OP units I made. Legacy Ultimate is no pushover, and Evil Ultimate can very easily wipe out entire factions just by himself. Next up, in 5th place, with 18 wins and 2 losses, is Miscellaneous. Now here, this really just comes down to Satan and Melee Master carrying the team. Melee Master is flashy and does a whole lot of damage. It's very fun to watch. But Satan is the real backbone of the team here, killing just pretty much anything that he comes across, with a massive HP pool as well as just Legacy Impale. So strong. So strong. Next up, in 4th place, also with 18 wins, is RLS. Now this comes down to also pretty much Blade can solo most things. Naomi Plasma and Demon Horror, as well as the other ones, can also put up some decent numbers as well. All around, pretty good abilities, but Blade being the backbone here, being one of the strongest units I've ever made, that's certainly legal, of course. Just kind of carrying the team. In 3rd place, with 19 wins and 1 loss, Team Fortress 2. Pyro, fire, strong, heavy with an amazing pushback. Soldier, if he's the last one standing against other ranged units. There are very few ranged units that I have made that can outrange the bazooka. And also, there are very few units who can walk forward faster than Soldier can run backwards thanks to his order unit's charge, thanks to the Conjurer. Then Engineer is here as well because, I mean, there's always a chance that he could summon like Artemis or an Ice Giant or the Super Dark Peasant, and we just move on to the next round after that one. In 2nd place, still undefeated for now. My Hero Academia. All Might, Bakugo, and Midoriya all have very, very strong punches with Dragon Punch and Ice Giant Punch, especially. But again, like with RLS and Miscellaneous, All for One is the true backbone of the MHA faction, teleporting behind and pretty much singling out another faction's strongest units and keeping them out of the fight for the entirety of the fight until reinforcements come along is so strong. And then Miscellaneous 2 is also undefeated for now. And Miscellaneous 2, their whole thing is they're just going to overwhelm you with a bunch of projectiles and Hurricane Slashes. There's like 7 units here that have Hurricane Slash. And if you know anything about Hurricane Slash, you should know that it takes 6 to kill anything in the game. Now let's move to our 1v1. And for our 1v1 here, All for One versus Satan. Pretty much almost identical units to each other. But which one will prevail? All for One's gonna teleport, and Satan's gonna go ahead and make him bow before him. Gonna move in, Satan's gonna teleport onto All for One, get some attacks in, then they're gonna start impaling each other. And this is already not looking close at all. We're also here on the Fantasy Evil map, because why not? Satan has barely taken any damage dealing with All for One. Jeez, that was sad. Let's do 2 All for Ones. All for 2. 1 Satan versus 2 All for Ones. I mean, we are kind of in Satan's domain, guys. I mean, I don't know what you're thinking of trying to deal with him. You know what I should do as a historical joke unit? Yeah, Satan could easily kill like 100 All for Ones, judging by that health. And with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed, and of course, have a good day.